Huh. Okay, let's do this. Okay, hello and welcome to Uncommon Sense Live number 16. What's up, my guys? Today we're going to be talking about, well, I wrote it in the chat there, Uncommon Sense Bodybuilding. I was not going to do it via the streaming software now, but it seems like ever since I activated that, I couldn't even go live without it, so it's still a little weird. I'm so used to seeing a mirror image of myself, and now I see myself on a delay. It's a little confusing. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about Uncommon Sense Bodybuilding. Oh, maybe I should take the sound off on this. Uncommon Sense Bodybuilding, because that's what I do. I do bodybuilding with a little twist, not the normal way, or normal, but not the mainstream way, let's say. Yeah, because, well, let me tell you why we're talking about this today. It's because, as you may know, if you've been following me for some time, I have not taken on any new online coaching clients in a while. But as I will be going on a bulk right around the start of the new year, I want to take some people with me, and well, not necessarily that you have to bulk like I do, but I do want to take some people along with me to do the Uncommon Sense Bodybuilding, so it's going to be fun. I realized that I tried out the online coaching and it was a little general, let's say. It turned out a bit differently with different people, what I did for them, and what was the focus, and now, of course, it's still holistic. If you know me, where I talk about on this channel, yeah, I do talk about like, yeah, Now I get a warning that it might be slow. So annoying. Can't just the streams work? Nice, you know. Can it just work? Now I have to talk. No dead air. Go in and watch the stream in a separate window. La di da di da. Yeah, because that's much better, you know, me saying la-di-da-di-da than it just being quiet. See here, it's gonna probably echo. And now, of course, it still seems to work okay. Stop scaring me, YouTube. Yeah, as you know, if you follow the channel, I talk a lot about who I used to be, skinny fat loser kind of guy, and how I transformed. And now that I have purpose in my life, I have confidence, I'm happy, all that. And so the bodybuilding that I do, it was never about, I never got into this because I just want to bodybuild, you know. It's just a tool for a bunch of different self-development stuff. But today we're going to talk about the actual bodybuilding. I don't know, if you're here, please say something in the chat. Everything is a little messed up on the screen. I mean, the stream seems to be working all right. Let's see there, mute the stream and watch it. Okay, it looks kind of laggy. Let's play the sound. All that, and yeah. Okay. So, well, I don't think there's a whole bunch of people here, but someone can always watch it after the fact. It looks like some people dropped in. What's up? How are you? We're talking about Uncommon Sense Bodybuilding today. So I wrote down a little list here. What do you really need to do to bodybuild, to get a physique like mine? Well, what you need to do, of course, is build a decent amount of muscle and don't carry too much fat so that muscle is actually shown. But we're going to talk here first and foremost about the actual building muscle. How do you build muscle? What's needed to build muscle? So first of all, consistency. There's been some kind of clip going around. I don't know where it originated. Hey, what's up, guys? I see you dropping in. Say hi in the chat. We're talking about uncommon sense bodybuilding today, and we're talking about building muscle right now. So first of all, you need consistency. There's been a clip going around with some guy talking about what happens if you go to the gym and lift weights once. You look in the mirror, nothing. What happens if you go another time and do that? Well, nothing. And then the point is basically that you have to do it over time. Like doing a month of training every fucking day and then just quitting, it will do less for you than going twice per week for the whole year. So consistency, very important. Intensity, you have to train hard enough, of course. You see a whole bunch of people, especially girls, that want to build a butt, you know. You see them with way too low weights doing decent exercises maybe, but it's just nowhere. They do the Bulgarian split squat, you know, with little 3 kilo dumbbells in their hands, and they don't sweat and they don't even look tired after doing it. You need intensity. You don't necessarily have to take every set to the absolute, you know, limit, but you have to be close to that. So intensity. You have volume. You have to have enough volume. You have to do enough. You can't just go do one set of squats and think you're gonna build a bunch of muscle. You have to do enough volume. And so that will depend a little bit on the person and also how high the intensity is. The lower the intensity of your training is, the higher the volume has to be. And okay, I'll put calorie surplus, and that's not necessarily that everyone needs that. The less advanced you are, the more you can get away with not bulking or even being on a slight deficit and burn fat and build muscle at the same time. But to build muscle, the most muscle you can, a calorie surplus is necessary. You will gain a little bit of fat along with it then if you're on a surplus, but you would gain more fat than just being on your maintenance and training. And basically it works like that beginners can get away with, like even now, what I know now, beginners could get away with kind of a hefty deficit and build muscle. But the more advanced you get, the more you have to focus on either building muscle or cutting, and a calorie surplus will always be optimal to build muscle, like to build the most muscle. So that depends. Do you want to slowly gain and not gain any fat? Then maybe a very small surplus or even maintenance calories. Are you fine with gaining a little bit of fat along with muscle? Then maybe go on a bigger surplus. Progressive overload. This is a big one too. This should be obvious that you have to do more over time. But this is something I see a lot of guys do. They just go and do the same fucking thing. They put the same weight on the bench press and just bench, you know. And one guy that I did a free PT hour with, that's included in his gym membership in one gym I work in. He did the same fucking thing every time. He came and did squats on the same weight, 8 sets of 8s for reps for some reason. And I was like, okay, like how do you think you're gonna do progress for that? You're just exercising and maintaining at this point, right? Of course, you have to do more over time. To gain muscle. Like if the body gets exposed to something new, that's when it reacts like, shit, we need to do something, better build some more muscle so we can live up to this increased demand on the body. And then you do that again over time. We have compound exercises. A lot of guys, you see, they come and do fucking flies and curls and triceps pushdowns, and yeah, those can all play a part in the training, and a complete beginner could make some gains with that, but it's the compound exercises that are the biggest bang for your buck. Multi-joint exercises like the squats, you have the deadlifts, chin-ups, weighted chin-ups even, barbell rows, the bench press, incline bench press, shoulder press, exercises like this. It's both effective in the way that you have several muscles working together, so you don't isolate the little muscle. But many muscles, they are like think of it like the biceps, for instance. How often do you really do this motion in life only? No, a lot of the time it works together with something, like when you're pulling something. And yeah, that will also, for other reasons, the compound exercises are important to increase bone density, stuff like this. But the compound exercises should be the focus. You could get away with doing like 5 exercises and build a bunch of muscle instead of going around and doing like 9 different curls, you know. Like curls, for a lot of people, they're just a waste of time. And a lot of people go too heavy on the curls. And there are a bunch of muscles that help in flexing the elbow. So yeah, the compound exercises is where you want to put the focus. So with the food quality, body composition, like the better the food quality is, like first of all, of course you need at least, you need enough protein. A lot of people could probably get away with like slightly above 1 gram per kilo of body weight in protein, but the optimal amount of protein is 2 grams per kilo, or like 1 gram per pound, basically. And of course you want to address micronutrients. We're not going to go too deep into that. If you keep your food quality high, you eat the nice meats and eggs and beef liver, please, you know, you're going to get a bunch of micronutrients. We're not going to go into which ones are important for building muscle here. Just eat fucking healthy food, and you probably don't have to worry about taking any supplement. We'll get a little bit to supplements in a bit. I think carbs. I think you should have carbs to build muscle. I'm not saying that you can't do it without carbs, but I'm not sure. Is this stream even working? You know. I get afraid watching this. Okay, it seems to be working. Yeah, carbs, not only will they, you know, help refill your muscles on glycogen, so you have more output in the gym, they also send growth signals, activate growth pathways in the body. So it's not the actual carbs that build the muscle, but they will send signals to the body to build muscle. So I think carbs are important. Yeah, but the food quality. Say that we have 2 Theos now, and they both stop training, and they eat the same amount of calories, only the one Theo, he eats just donuts, just eat donuts, and the other Theo, he eats the same diet as Theo does now, which is basically, you know, the vertical diet. Meat-based, a lot of red meat, eggs, liver, Greek yogurt, some berries, some fruits, carrots. Well, that Theo, of course, he's gonna lose some muscle eventually because he's not training anymore. But the donut Theo, he would lose. Even eating the same calories, he would slowly get fatter and lose muscle because, you know, it's about nutrient partitioning. The higher the quality of your food, the more the body can use to what you want it to be used to, building muscle. If it doesn't get what it needs to do that, but it still gets a bunch of calories, yeah, what's going to happen is you lose muscle and put on fat. So the food quality matters. That's why, you know, I'm saying this because some people think when they bulk, they can just eat like pigs, eat a bunch of shit. And yeah, if they get enough protein and stuff, that will work okay. It's not good, the most optimal for your health, of course, but and you will gain a bunch of unnecessary fat. And that's the thing, you can get away with a very, very small surplus or even maintenance to build muscle if you have high food quality. And so now we talked a bit about how, okay, do you need supplements? I put here, well, you don't need supplements ever. I've gotten the question so many times, do you take creatine? And the answer is yes, I do. But that's like when we don't take steroids, you know, because those will obviously make a huge difference for your progress. But we don't do that here. We do natural bodybuilding, obviously. So then all the supplements are like little icing on the cake, you know. I kind of assume that they don't do anything. I just hope they do, you know. And so creatine is the best natural supplement there is. It's very... In the studies, it's very proven that basically that you have higher output in the workout and therefore will able to stimulate more muscle growth. Then if we're talking about things that could be something to think about that maybe is a little hard to get via diet, we have the magnesium, as I mentioned. You have boron. Boron is good to drive down the hormones that bind up your testosterone. If you have high just total testosterone, doesn't really matter if it's all bound up, but boron can help free more of the testosterone. And if you don't eat, I don't eat a bunch of plants. Like I could eat some avocado that contains boron, basically. So a boron supplement. We have the vitamin D3 plus K2. In Sweden here, it's a steroid hormone. It's very important for testosterone. But here in Sweden, you can't see outside now, but it's very dark, and we don't get any vitamin D from the sun, basically. So that could be a worthwhile supplement. And the K2 is just because it helps take up the vitamin D3. And so now we talked about the kind of technical things about building muscle. Hey guys, you were watching me. Please let me know. What are your problems with your, getting the body that you want? What are you struggling with? Is it hard to lose weight? Is it hard to build a muscle? Do you don't know how to train? Are you not disciplined enough? Please let me know in the chat. This is the subject for today's stream. I mean, you can ask anything, of course, but please get involved here. I'm doing a fucking 1 hour monologue at this point. Okay, so I want to really, what is uncommon sense bodybuilding? Well, it is doing it this kind of special way with a fasting involved, and maybe some creative exercises. But it's also that it's a means for self-development. It's not only about building muscle, it's a tool for self-development. And so I put down some things here. Discipline, of course. If you create this habit, going away to the gym, doing something that's tough, and you keep doing that over and over, of course, you'll be more disciplined all over. If you can do this, then there's a bunch of other stuff you can do. Stress resistance. Training is a stress. I remember when I was going through all that panic attack shit, I remember that when it was over, I still felt very stressed and nervous at times. And when I started training, there was... it was like there was a lid on the pot. Is that how you say it? That it couldn't boil over because I gained better stress resistance from all the training. Understanding progress. When you understand this, like the tiny actions over time, doing the workout over and over and over, and how you slowly get better at something, there is nothing like super quick results. There are kind of quick results if you do things optimally. But it always has to happen slow. And then that carries over to everything. Any skill you want to learn, you realize that you can't just become a master immediately. It's doing something consistently over time and increasing, progressively overloading what you do. It's like this with everything. Confidence. You gain confidence from this. It's multifaceted. Of course, you will look better when you build the muscle and have less fat. Yeah, obviously, right? But you'll get better self-esteem, not only because you think you look better when you look in the mirror, but because you appreciate yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm a fucking person that goes and do this tough thing that a lot of people don't do, which makes me feel good and makes me look good. And yeah, I like myself for that. And you get strong. Of course, just being stronger, like you feel like you can protect yourself better. Like, of course, I don't really know fighting. It's just been a few sucker punches in my life, basically. But I don't really know fighting. But I'm strong, so I could just, push him away or, what do you say, wrestle him down on the floor. I'm just strong. A bunch of stuff that was tough. There's a random example. In the choir, we stood on these little stairs, just doing things like that. Instead of being, shit, I have to help out with this now, I became the person that was like, yeah, I want to help because I'm fucking strong. These are the things I put down here, basically. So we have some people watching for a big part of my big monologue here about building the muscle. There was not too many around, I think. It's so laggy, this, But please talk to me in the chat. Again, what's been difficult for you with transforming your body? Is it weight loss? Are you a food addict? Are you you don't know what to do in the gym? Please let me know, guys. Because I said at the start of this stream that I will be taking on new clients at the same time when I start a more intense training phase, and I want more people to do that with me. Okay, finally someone says something in the chat. Hello, Sava Tosic. Is that right? Are you Croatian or something? That's my guess from the name. What do you think about doing full body 6 times a week? I think it's fucking stupid for the most part. You could do it. It could work, but it's so easy to overtrain on that kind of routine. And just why? Why don't just if you're gonna train 6 times per week, why don't split it up into split the body up into push-pull legs and do that. Do 2 of each week. That time that the muscles will have enough time to recover. Full body workouts in general I do like, but why do them every fucking day? Again, so easy to overtrain, and no, I don't like it. If you manage intensity and volume perfectly, then it could work, but I would never recommend that. Full body, I think, if you're gonna train not more than 3 times per week, I like full body workouts, and it's what I do with most of my gym clients. That almost no one train more than 2 times per week. Carmen Rodriguez. Do you experience extreme muscle twitching even after lifting for a significant amount of time? What do you mean with the twitching? I can talk a little bit about those are some things that no one really tells you when you start working out. That I think everyone understands that. If you haven't worked out in a long time, it's easier to get sore, and if you train hard, you'll get really sore for days, maybe even a week. I remember when I started doing pull-ups here. I did 5 sets of 2 to 3 pull-ups the first time. I just tried it before doing negatives. My fucking back and arms were wrecked for a week. But the other thing, muscle twitching, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but that's the other thing. Even working out will feel less intense. There are some things, like doing heavy squats and deadlifts will always just be fucking tough. But a good example is this, reverse fly machine. Like a lot of clients, like the back of the shoulder, of course, because we spend a lot of time like this and like this today, we're very dominant here. So the back of the shoulder is kind of a sleeping muscle for a lot of people. So even though it's such a small muscle, a lot of people, when you do the reverse fly machine, when you pull back like that, they are suffering, far before failure, and me at this point, if someone said I give you $100 if you do 15 sets, I'll be like, okay, no problem. So I don't know exactly what you mean with muscle twitching, but it is something that no one tells you that. Not only will it, because of course you can just get a higher tolerance for the pain you can tolerate, but you'll actually get less pain training. Like training triceps, for instance. I love training triceps. It's so easy for me to take every set to failure. And I remember how some of the exercises used to burn a lot. And now I just come to failure and it's kind of like, okay, I don't have anything more to give here. Biceps though. They still burn a lot for me. It's interesting. I get sore in the triceps much easier than the biceps, but I think the biceps... it's much tougher to just stand the burn while working out. Please, okay, now we have 6 viewers and 6 likes, at least it says. So someone please go away from the number of the beast. So it's not gonna be, it's not too long until I try these supplements here from More Plates, More Dates. Terkesterone and ecdysterone. And again, I want to be very clear that if this even will do something for me, it's not what it's all about at all. It's the other things that I talked about at the start of the stream. Consistency, intensity, the right amount of volume, calorie surplus, at least for me, I probably need it at this point. Progressively overloading, adding more weight or reps over time. Good food quality, enough protein. But it's going to be exciting to try it because, if nothing else, I'll hope. I always assume that it's not going to do anything, but I hope, of course. And then the results I get, I'm never going to know if it was from the supplement. If I can even feel something, that, I feel a little, I feel more anabolic. No, but, people who take testosterone obviously feel great at the start when they do this. This is nowhere near. This is not a steroid, but maybe it can make me feel something. But yeah, calling my heart less manly by doing hair transplant. Your thoughts? Better to rock baldness. I don't necessarily think it's less manly. It's one of those things, we talked about it on the stream before, like cod in my heart. I'm doing the beard growth protocol right now with minoxidil. Well, I wouldn't do a transplant. And to be honest, again, like, yeah, I'll be happy if I can get a better beard, but it's a lot just as a fun experiment and kind of entertainment for you guys. But what I've said about these things, like, if you think you can do something to get more hair on your head, and you think that will make you happy, and it isn't all that toxic for you, then why not, you know? Like, less manly, not necessarily. But rock the baldness, I would say, if I had to pick, just being comfortable in the way you are would probably be better. But I don't mind you doing that. That's your choice, you know. Okay, so I think these streams at this point, they are a little slower. They're getting a little slower. I'm not sure why, but maybe they're gonna have to be shorter. I've done my big monologue about the building muscle, but again, I want to remind you, you know, my contact information. Thanks for a like. Hey, sup, Energy Flux. How are you? We've been talking about uncommon sense bodybuilding here. Well, let's talk about this. What's the uncommon sense about the actual, like not only talking about it as a tool for self-development? Well, it's this, that I use prolonged and intermittent fasting for it. Obviously, with the prolonged fasting, you can, after, if you did bulk, go on a surplus and added a bit of fat with the muscle, with the prolonged fasting, you can obviously cut so much quicker. You've seen it on my channel here. It was ridiculous, especially last summer, how fast after my bulk I lost fat. So that's something really cool that I would love to coach people with. But also that, you know, in the mainstream bodybuilding, it's like 5-6 meals a day. And also the fucking food quality, they eat all these oats and rice, chicken, broccoli, both kind of nutrient, what do you say? Not very nutritious foods, like lacking some nutrients in there with the chicken, rice, broccoli, and these kind of inflammatory foods that make you bloated. And I do it obviously on the vertical diet, which I guess it's not necessarily mainstream, but it's not necessarily way out there. It's the high red meat that's involved in the diet. That's kind of unusual, but I like to do it that way. And with the intermittent fasting, that is eating frequency, like maybe those guys who take a bunch of steroids, you know, that to optimize muscle growth, that they can spiking protein synthesis like 5-6 times per day will be better for that kind of person. But the normal person, the natural, absolutely doesn't need to eat at that frequency. In fact, I would argue that, you know, when they do these studies with what's optimal for muscle growth, I think they do it on just random people, you know, and like put some on a low eating frequency and some on a higher, and in that, just immediately during that study, the people that eat on a higher frequency build more muscle. But doing the intermittent fasting, you're gonna have higher insulin sensitivity, and if you don't have insulin sensitivity, you're not gonna build muscle, you're just gonna get fat and bloated. So I would argue that in the long term, doing it the way I do, eating like 2 to 4 meals per day, depending on the training phase, and actually sometimes just because of life, it's I have to eat so much, it's hard sometimes in less than 4 meals on certain days, but I would argue that it could be even more effective in the long term. So I'm really trying, I want to coach people in bodybuilding, getting a jacked body, not doing it the mainstream way, but doing it the way I do. Call in my heart, how often to release semen per month would you say is best if you're not meeting women at the moment? Well, I'm in a celibacy since 26 months, and well, meet women, I don't date like that. Like I would here and there, I see some woman that I might be a bit curious about, but you know, I'm attracting. I have such high standards. I'm pretty sure that in the end, the woman I end up with is not here in Stockholm. We'll have to move away from here at some point. But even if I meet the woman, I won't have sex with her until I know that we want to build a family, you know. So how often to release semen per month? I've talked about this too, bro. Like again, I understand that not everyone can see everything you put out, but I think, you know, it's with everything. I'm a proponent of low fap, not no fap. You know, please, other guys who are watching, by the way, please talk to me and ask me stuff in the chat. It's very, very helpful. I don't see this, you know. No fap, that would be a strategy to get rid of the, you know, PMO addiction, porn, masturbation, orgasm addiction. Do that for some time, but I don't really think it's natural to do the complete opposite. Why is it always like this? You know, yeah, I was a complete porn addict. I watched porn and jacked off multiple times per day, but now I found the right way to do it. I don't do it at all. So my point is, I'm not sure that it's an optimal frequency. It just shouldn't be an addiction. Like I do it kind of by feel. When I feel like I have too much, I see it this way. This is a good analogy I came up with. See it as some kind of mana you have. You know, in video games, the life you have it goes down by itself, but the mana kind of regenerates. And it doesn't work like this in the game, but in the mana here, which is the semen, I feel like when it's full, it gets kind of, you know, like it's kind of almost exploding. And you don't want that, but you don't want to be depleted on the mana, right? So at the point when you feel like you're kind of exploding, you know, not just fucking boredom, addiction, horny, you know, but when you actually feel you can't sleep because you're too ramped up, that's when you do it. And I would guess that's about once per week. You know, I think that's what it ends up being. But you see the point with these things, both that there often is a balance. There are some things you should probably never do, and it's not always that it's such a fucking exact answer. Like, how often is it okay to drink alcohol? Well, that depends, you know. Sometimes there will be just more people having their birthday or whatever it is, some party with your job. Maybe you take during that time period you drink a little more often, but then maybe there's months where none of that happens, and then maybe you drink nothing. You see, there's a balance. Energy Flux 2012. What's worked well for me is eating 5 or 6 smaller meals a day, 3,300 calories on low volume days, 3,800 on high volume, then 36 to 72 hour water fast a couple times a month. And you build muscle on that, even with fasting that often. Interesting. Yeah, that's something to say too, that if you're gonna, I don't think you should, why are you eating 5 or 6 smaller meals, I would ask. Why, you know? I think it's unnatural, but I think a good way to negate the insulin resistance that can come with that, I think it's a good idea to throw in some longer fasts. I've mentioned on this channel before Vigorous Steve, very interesting, a bodybuilding coach that is into the whole steroid thing, he coaches competition bodybuilders, but it's very interesting. He actually does the prolonged fast, like 5-day fasts with those guys. That's very, very interesting. Because, you know, most bodybuilders are scared to go even like 6 hours without eating something. So that's cool that he makes people do that. Yep. Energy Flux says yep. Yeah, that you confirm that you build muscle that way. Yeah. I'd like to see your physique, bro. It's interesting always with no offense, but all the anonymous people that talk about what they do and stuff, because, you know, a lot of people, I'm not saying this is you, Energy Flux, but a lot of people, they are fucking nerdy, and they watch a bunch of stuff, and they talk a bunch about what they do, and then when you see them, it's like, it's not interesting what you do, because you have no results there, bro. I think about this too in the gym, Again, I'm not saying this is you, Energy Flux, but a lot of people that follow you here on YouTube, you don't know who the fuck you are, On Instagram, it's you can often, if people that reach out to me, many of them are not anonymous, you go in and check their pictures, but these people you see in the gym, like scrawny guys with all the fucking equipment, with the lifting belt and knee straps and stuff, and they never get any bigger. And it's like, what are you doing with all that shit? Just fucking lift weights and lift heavier over time and eat properly. Like, why do you need all that stuff? Yeah. Well, guys, I don't know what to talk about now. Yeah, I don't have much more to talk about. Like, I've talked about the Uncommon Sense bodybuilding, and I want to get more clients for the next year. It'll be fun to go on a bulk building phase. I'll be excited about that, and I'll be excited to, when you come far enough with all of this, you get addicted to progress, and so making it with other people is, kind of feels the same as doing it with yourself. Energy Flux 2012. I'm still skinny though, lol, and still experimenting and refining. Yeah. Still skinny. Well, you've been following me for some time, right? I think I remember your name from far back. Are you the same person on Instagram that's the ethereal seals person? I kind of recognize that avatar. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. You have it very thought through. It sounds like. But where's the results, bro? That's the thing. I just see here, cold in my heart, wasting prime years by celibacy? No thoughts on that. Prime years by what prime years? To just be a fucking little slut boy? Or what do you mean? I'm not interested in that anymore. I thought I was when I was younger, and it gave me absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. No, it's horrible. The way people use each other to masturbate these days, it's soul draining. I think it's the root of many immoral behaviors here in life. And well, I'm not going to be a slut maker anymore. I'm making up for the way I used to be, and I'm very, very proud of it. And a lot of people in my life think I'm a weirdo. I don't give a shit. I go with the truth and God and what's right. And you who want to be a little slut boy, you can go and be that if you want. Have fun. It's not you're not. You have some funny stories, maybe. That's it. And you've just drained your soul, basically. Energy Flux 2012. Yes, ethereal seals. Yeah, that's you. Well, yeah, you commented on my post there with some facts about me. Yeah, no, sometimes I get interested that some people, they know so much, and you have this big plan with 5 or 6 smaller meals, and you do this and this, and you fast like this. But I'm sometimes like, but why do I make the results and you don't, and that's why I want to get involved. Like, you should consider taking some coaching with me, Energy Flux. You can reach out to me via my email or Instagram. I'm happy to take calls with people to see if we're compatible before starting the coaching. Like, no payment needed. So if you would be interested, please reach out. And of course, all the other stuff, I'm trying to focus more on, because I do know I am good at all the technical stuff with choosing the exercises and how to apply the progressive overload, writing the program, constructing your diet, all of that. But then, of course, when I'm a coach, I'll get involved in all the other shit too, like your life. Like how you are as a person, your relationships, all that kind of stuff. But I want to kind of start off in the whole bodybuilding thing. I wish I'm trying. Can you help me come up with a better word? Because bodybuilding is kind of just a tool, but it's really person building we're doing here. We're building a fucking awesome human being. That's what we're doing, and part of that is getting a ripped, jacked body. Calling my heart. Would you consider having children with a black or Asian girl? Many don't want their genetics to change too dramatically. No, probably not. I don't think I'm even would be even attracted to a black or Asian girl. Like, I could see them and think they are like objectively attractive. Like, I off the top of my head, I can think of a really beautiful, jacked Asian girl in my gym. But I wouldn't be, I just wouldn't be romantically interested. And it's not like a choice like that. I just don't think I'd get attracted to someone that looks too different from me. She doesn't have to be like a blue-eyed blonde Swedish girl, but I have to feel like we're similar, to be honest, with a thing like that, it's a little hard, because I have seen like couples like that seem to be, good people and are doing all right. But I think, it's not that some race is better than the other, but I think it's a little strange to be drawn to someone that's so completely different than you. Something is just off to me. It's like even with a huge age difference, first of all, I wouldn't be interested in I'm barely interested in a girl that's like 1 day older than me. It's just in my gut, it feels weird. How am I supposed to be the patriarch to a girl that's older than me? But and younger than me, yes, but not too young. Kind of have an arbitrary rule of probably not younger than 10 years younger than me. And even right now, when I'm 28, soon to be 29, like a girl 10 years younger than me, it's not very likely that we're going to be a good match, because she's not going to be mature enough. So I feel like, in general, it's not that you have to. It's the balance again. It's weird if you can't be with anyone. I used to have ideas like that. Yeah, I need to meet a blonde, blue-eyed or green-eyed Swedish girl, and that's. I think that's weird. But I think it's weird to be drawn to someone that's just completely different than you too. So it's kind of a balance there, again. Claude, I agree that one-night stands, etc. do your soul no good whatsoever, bro. Well, fist bump on that one, Claude. It's what I figure out. It's that it's a lot that it's for me. It was when you have a kind of nihilistic worldview. It doesn't always have to be like this, of course, but what you end up in is like, but we are biological creatures, so. Reproducing a lot. When you can't see any real meaning to life, you find this kind of mechanical meaning of life. Like, getting a bunch of females, then I am an alpha male, But the thing about that is, it's a lie, because you aren't actually reproducing with these women. Maybe if you made all these women pregnant, you'd have a point. But I'm still against that, though. Immoral to just leave the woman to raise your child. But so I think it's something you easily end up in when you have a kind of a nihilistic worldview. But also, I know that for me, and this I know for basically everyone, it's looking for validation. I felt like getting laid. Getting that from a woman, I felt like that means I am something, that I'm worth something, that she wanted to do this with me, she gave me this, that must mean that I am alpha or something, which is ridiculous, of course. Because, again, I have so many thoughts on this. The alpha male, He just wants one good woman, to raise a family. That's the alpha thing to do, raise the family, be husband and wife, raise the family together. And so that's the point. If you manage to get laid with all these women, well, there's a bunch of beta women you manage to get laid with, so that you can get laid with beta women, because the kind of woman I want, she won't want a little whore boy, and so. Sorry, I'm not really structuring my thoughts properly here, but that's what I know, Cold in my heart. How many girls have you said no to in the last 2 years? sex. Well, it's not like, girls don't really work like that. If you're not famous, it's not like girls just reach out to me wanting to have sex. That has happened a few times. And some girls just randomly, they start sending nudes, or they start complimenting you. But it's not that they directly ask me to have sex with them. There was one. I'm gonna get to your question, Frank, but I had one very funny interaction with a girl that reached out to me. And she basically was like, I want someone to fill all my holes. She was talking in this way. And instead of saying I'm not interested, I of course think it's a lot more fun. When she sees me the way I look on my Instagram and stuff, I'm like, no, I'm actually in a celibacy since over 2 years. And then she went on like, but you're not one of those people that think that it only counts if it's in the vagina, because I have other holes, And I was like... the things girls can say when they think someone is really, really attractive. So, how many girls have you said no to in the last 2 years? That's the only one I can remember saying like directly no to like that. But maybe there's been like 10 girls that have made kind of a not directly but indirect sexual approach towards me, and because the girls don't really do that a lot. You have to be like really famous or something, then the girls will do that. And yeah, I tried once just making a Tinder and putting the shirtless picture, and I got an extreme amount of matches, like compared to when I actually seriously used the app back in the day. Again, girls don't really work like that unless you are like super famous. I know some like girls that are into and like guys who play football. I mean soccer for Americans, they like the football players here on the highest level. I know they have a bunch of girls like reaching out to them like that, for instance. But they are kind of somewhat of celebrities. Claude. Oh no, sorry, Frank Underwood, and Cody My Heart said I suspected that about them. When we talked about being attracted to someone that's way different from you. She got hoes everywhere. Yeah. What a fucking thing to say, Really trying to do the celibacy guy, trying to draw him in with the anal sex. Okay, when is a lifting session too long? 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours? No, it depends on what you do in the gym. Like me, I find myself, sometimes I'm in the gym for 3 hours, but it's not that I'm working out the whole time, of course. It's like I'm talking to clients or friends on voice messages in between, and I just like being in the gym. It's my hobby too, and I know a lot. I just talk to people in the gym. But I'd say sometimes I've done actual workouts that are up to 2 hours, but then it might be because I do some really heavy exercise and I have to rest like 4 or 5 minutes between the sets. So it's like always, it's an equation between the intensity and volume and rest times and stuff like that. So 1 hour, you could get a lot done in 1 hour training a certain way. You could get not too much done in 2 hours. Always a balance between all those things. A balance as always. Energy Flux 2012. First Cloud. Yup, totally a real alpha wants a family and one partner. Yet it is considered alpha to have lots of lame partners. Well, I don't think that women really view it that way. Or women, I guess some men think that. But it's so warped. What's alpha, and I don't view it as alpha at all, and it's no fucking religious stance or anything like that. It's the way I see. I remember one time I was sitting with 2 friends in a bar, not drinking. They were drinking in the summer, that like maybe a little before dinner time, and they were like, on all the girls that walked by, they were like, oh wow, she's so amazing, wow, what a beautiful, wow. I don't remember what they said, but the way they were drooling over so average girls was like fucking pathetic. They're making women gods, and when you know that you're supposed to be the leader of women, it's so pathetic to see men just put women on pedestals like that. And and also the one of them was like he talked about one girl he had gone home with and was like I couldn't get it up, so I just eat her pussy twice. And I didn't even want to get involved in this, but he just saw me like cringe at that, like and he had to start talking about it because he knows that my stance is I will never ever do that again. I have, unfortunately, but it's all in the past. But I will never ever do that. You never know if you are in a marriage, but I feel like I don't want to have my fucking face there. You have to be porn damaged to want to do something like that, I feel like. Energy Flux 2012. What's helped me the most has been organ meats and ancestral living, powerhouses of nutrition, fixed my hormones, and it's been a tremendous help in the gym. Yeah, a lot of things that people try to address with supplements. If you just took some of these, that would probably be enough. And of course, I would always recommend, if you have access or you can see yourself eating just regular liver, that's better. But we might as well plug this. Nordic Kings beef liver supplements. No hormones added, no additives, just freeze-dried organs in capsules. On nordickings.se, 15% off with Theo15. I am using them right now, actually, because my delivery from the butcher is delayed. I don't get it until Thursday. They ship all over Europe, so it's a very convenient solution if you think liver is too icky, or if you don't have access to it, or like me, just have it as a convenient backup, Frank Underwood. So I should not really be worried about it then. About how long the lifting session is. I don't think so. If you recover well after being in the gym 2 hours, you're not doing too much there. I'm lifting in the 4 to 6 rep range. Takes a long time. Do you do that on everything, or do you just do compound exercises? Like, give me some examples of exercises you do. Because 4 to 6 rep range is nice for compound exercises, but for many more isolated exercises, I feel like I'm stumbling on my words a lot today, but I'd like to see you do a little higher reps. Energy Flux. Fish eggs are great for fertility and hormones. Ancestral supplements. I love their branding. Yeah, fish eggs. I buy salmon raw here sometimes. I feel elated for the rest the day when I eat liver. Have gotten into cooking at home the last month. Tastes better, is healthier and cheaper. Win-win-win. Yeah, it's funny that the organ meats are cheaper because no one wants to eat them because they're too icky. I saw a cool video today. It's a guy on Instagram that's called like Dr. Pran. What's his name? He's gotten kind of big in the kind of whatever you want to call it, the alternative nutrition sphere or whatever. What was it? What kind of animals was it? There, Dr. Pran Yoganathan. Is that that's an interesting name? But it's this video of some coyote-looking things. They're eating some kind of deer, but they're going for the organ meats right away. And of course, the animals know better than humans what's good for them, Yeah, we have more people in the chat. B. Hey man, glad you're still streaming on Sundays. Haven't dropped in a while. Hope you're well. Yeah, good to see you, B. Well, please be earlier to the streams if you can. It's always like this. I start out. I try to talk as much as I can. It's a little slow start, and when I'm almost done, all the people drop in. But if you guys want to stick around and help me out with more questions, I'm happy to talk with you. But it's just that. I can't monologue for too long, just for an hour. So you really helped me out, is what I'm saying, and it's totally appreciated. That's why I'm saying it so much. It really helps. It's a win-win. I answer your questions. You get the answers. I get I don't know. Claude. Honestly, slutty women are such a turn-off. I would rather be celibate than with a woman like that. Do you know any books you recommend on celibacy and your views? No, I don't recommend books. I don't like books. That's a theme on this channel. Why do you need to read about it? Like, just don't have sex before you meet the right one to start a family with. What more do you need to read, you know? Like, honestly, I'm asking you. I'm curious. It's such a simple thing. And with the books, again, I always want to say I'm not against books. It's this whole thing with all the theory. People are so into theory and reading and educating themselves, but it's what you do in reality that's important. Then you can have the theory on the side. And for me, I'm just too restless, too ADHD to read too often, so it's not my preferred medium to learn stuff. But I'm very curious, what would you need to read on celibacy? Really. I have videos about celibacy. Just search celibacy on my channel and you can see some of my views. Frank Underwood. Squat, deadlift, military press, bench press, rows, pull-ups, calf raises. Yeah. Are you... that's of course a kind of typical full body compound exercise program, but is it inspired by me? Do you do the lateral raises too? Because that's what I always say. All you really need to do is the squat, deadlift, military press, bench press, rows, pull-ups, and if there's anything more that needs to be addressed for just aesthetics, it's probably calves and the middle of the shoulder with some lateral raises. Is it for me you got in this? Then I'm very happy and it sounds good. B. I need to watch your video on snacking, lol. I'm guilty of it lately. Yeah, do that. You're gonna hear that's ruining everything for you and you should stop doing that. And it's unnatural. It's again, that's what I want to say to you too, Energy Flux 2012. Like this eating 5 to 6 times per day. Do you understand what a luxury it is to even be able to do that? And how we absolutely, of course, obviously, did not do that evolving. That's something to think about. Beyond my wonder. Me too, I'm late today. Yeah, what the fuck? No, I'm kidding. It's good to see you. But yeah, it's really helpful. It makes the streams higher quality if you're here from the start, you know. It really does. And it's at the same time, I'm punctual. I've been 1 minute late once, I think. So it would be totally appreciated. Energy Flux. I've been training up for handstands lately. Yeah, I've been taking on some of that after my bulking phase. That's mostly hypertrophy, building muscle focus that I'll start next year. After that, I'll do some more skill training. Handstands, one-arm chin-up. Eventually, when I can even handstand push-ups, that would be cool. SV. Start the stream earlier with a waiting image so more time passes while the live is recommended in subscribers' feeds. Yeah, that could be an idea. I've just... I realize now that I'm using the streaming software. But yeah, that's now I could actually do that. So that's a good point. Yeah. B. Ounce of theory worth a pound of practice. Yeah. Ounce of theory worth a pound of practice. I hope what you're saying that you should have just an ounce of theory for every pound of practice. I guess that's what you're saying, and I would agree with that. Like always, I'm not ready to start training yet. I need to know this. I need to know the workout program. I need to know how to eat. All that shit. It's like, no, just fucking start going to the gym and do something. There are machines. They're easy to use. Do something. Get that habit. Start learning your body a little bit, how it works. And then, at the same time, you start reading up on it. There's no fucking learning the optimal... You always learn by doing in the end. Even, I learned that. I prepared. I was training at home and I prepared. Watching a bunch of Athlean X videos, so I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I got to the gym, but I noticed that even simple exercises are kind of hard to get right when you've never done them, and it's not watching a video that really teaches you how to do it, it's just doing it. B. Gonna aim for 2 72-hour fasts this week. 1 dry, 1 snake. Okay. Cool. What's your status, B? What's your height and weight, body composition and stuff? How are you doing? Where are you right now? You know, Claude. Good point, man. Books can be such a turn-off. I agree. Theory over reality is not such a good thing, really. No. Good. And that's obviously my view. But again, if you are doing stuff... actually doing stuff, putting something into practice, then I don't mind you reading books along with that. It's just personally for me, books is not what I prefer to learn. Cold in my heart. The guy you talked about in the Don't Kill Yourself video, how's that going? I think he's doing better. He obviously didn't pick me up on my offer to help him, but he's still really lost on a bunch of things. I know from my other friend who was with me, if you remember the story, when he made his gay proposal to me. The other guy has had some contact with him, and he still doesn't really see things. And we really try. He was even lifting weights like the summer before this summer when he turned crazy, and he did notice positive effects from it now. But now we're talking about how he's going to become feel better and stronger, and he takes it all literally. Like, but I think I'm strong. Like, I don't think I need muscles to be strong, and he doesn't understand that it's not really about the physical strength. Like, yeah, that's good too, but you're going to be healthier and feel better, and you're stronger in that sense. You're a more capable and just stress resistance and person. But so I think he's doing better. Obviously not suicidal anymore, but he's still kind of lost, I'm afraid. B. There's an account of Irish people by English aristocrat in 1600 saying they're savages living in mountains who only ate once a day in the evening. Lol. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of human beings did it about that way. Like maybe they ate twice per day sometimes, because they obviously couldn't store food for as long, but maybe they have some around in the camp, so maybe they could eat a couple times per day. But Frank Underwood. No, I just added what seemed reasonable to the starting strength program that I used to do before COVID. I'll add some lateral raises. Thanks, man. Yeah, well, Frank, I don't know where you are in your progress, but eventually I think you should do something else than full body workouts too. Like they are good. They are great to start off with and do for some time, but eventually you want to... If you really want to get that nice physique that we talked about at the start of the stream, then... you have to specialize after a while. Energy Flux, see ya later. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. See ya, man. SV. I thought of sending you a book for Christmas, Mr. Coach. Might look good on your shelf, even if you don't read it. Yeah, you have some books. I guess I went down with most of them in my basement. But yeah, you can send me a book if you want. B. I'm 6 feet, 95 kilos. Definitely feel a bit fat when I'm at 85 kilos. My gut is completely gone. Feel so much better. Yeah, of course. Of course you feel better then. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna finish the stream now. Seems like it has peaked. I want to say here at the end again, I'm taking on new online coaching clients, and I want to see fucking good results. I want you to become more like me. It's gonna be uncommon sense bodybuilding. Building a strong and beautiful body as an expression of strength and being just a fucking awesome person, and using this as a tool to, as we talked about. If you dropped in late, you should go back and watch the start of the stream. But the bodybuilding is just a tool for becoming the best version of yourself all over in your life. So please, if you're interested, we can have a talk, just a call, no payment needed, just to get to know each other and see if we're compatible. Reach out to me via my email or Instagram in the description below. Thank you for this time, guys. I will see you next week. Peace.